North Carolina, at our program that we're excited to tell you about a project that we've been doing in North Carolina. And what we have determined is motivating and educating undergraduate students in the field of psychology. As we all know, we want our field to go on and prosper, and so we're excited to tell you about a program in North Carolina. I'm curious, by a show of hands, for those of you who are currently in the room, how many of you are outside of North Carolina? Excellent, great, okay, good. We're happy to have our North Carolina colleagues here, but we're also, of course, excited to be able to tell some of our colleagues in other parts of the country about our program. So what we are here to talk about is what we call the Undergraduate Conference, and I want to tell you briefly a little bit about who it is that's going to be presenting today. My name is Sandra Wardski, and I'm currently president of North Carolina Psychological Association, and I have to say that I really can't take credit for the Undergraduate Conference at all. My esteemed colleagues here sitting to my right are the ones who really are part of being in charge of this. But I thought it was such a terrific thing that our state has been doing now for 20 years that it really felt important to me to be able to share about this conference with other states and other individuals who might choose to also do something like this in their own state. So I'm going to just start us off today a little bit, and then Dr. Vincent Goldman to my right is going to be speaking a little bit, and then Carol Kowicki, and then Lisa Oswald is going to be speaking. So, and then I'm going to come back and finish up a little bit at the end. So this is our agenda for our very quick 50 minutes symposium here today. We are going to be telling you about what we consider a win-win idea, the undergraduate conference that we do. We're going to be talking about what is it exactly, so you have a little bit of a sense about what it is. How do we do it? What are the logistics? How do we get it together? What are some of the details? And why do we do it? And there's going to be part one, why do we do it for the students, which we consider one of the wins, and part two, why do we do it for psychology and for psychologists. So we're going to run through our details fairly quickly, but we're going to do this in a way that we want to just kind of wet your whistle and maybe have you be a little bit intrigued. And we are wide open to share any details, to share the PowerPoint, to answer questions any point down the road that you might have if you choose to do something in your state that's similar to this. So before we get started into our serious piece, we're also going to do what we're calling our raffle. And this is a little bit similar to what we do at our actual undergraduate conference. You know, undergraduate students with not a lot of money, and part of how we draw students in and have fun with it a little bit is to do door prizes and do raffles at our undergraduate conference. So what we're going to do, Vincent's lovely wife Cecilia is going to be our assistant today, and we are going to pass around any of you who are interested in being part of the raffle. Put your name on this index card, and if you would like future information or email, put your email and or phone on there, and let us know if yes, you would like additional information about the conference or a copy of the PowerPoint. We're happy to send you, and you'll be part of our drawing, which we will do at the end of the session before 9:50. So thank you, Cecilia, for doing that. And all right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Goldman, who's going to tell us a little bit about what it is.
Good morning. The future of psychology depends in part on our efforts today to bring in diverse, enthusiastic, educated, and motivated students into the field of psychology. Although majoring in psychology is very popular among undergraduates at today's colleges, many students aren't fully aware of the breadth of the opportunities in psychology. Over the past 20 years, the North Carolina Psychological Foundation has been hosting a program entitled the Psychology Undergraduate Conference, to which students across the state are invited. And in this program, which is an all-day affair, students are exposed to the various careers in psychology. They are allowed to we talk about admissions processes. We meet small groups with psychologists who represent diverse types of practice of psychology. We talk about things such as the GRE, we have a poster session in which students are allowed to present their research. And as Sandra just mentioned, we have door prizes. Let's see. Oh, we're on way up. This is a sample schedule that the print may be someone's home from way back, but basically what this does, it lays out what we do. We have standard things such as welcome, orientation, etc. But we have the opportunity to have speakers who provide various information, and we usually have a session which have a keynote address. On this one is 10:15 to 11:30, and in that we share information on getting into graduate school, which might be one of the topics. That includes things such as talking to students about what preparation is needed, coursework, etc., research experience, letters of recommendation, interviewing, what to do and not to do. In other words, before you call the university asking for information, be sure to have gone on the web, do's and things of that nature. We also talk about, we have a graduate student panel, and on that graduate student panel, we have students who might be at different levels, master's or doctoral levels, some a person who might have recently earned a degree, talking about what the experience was like in graduate school and what it was like getting into graduate school. And students have the opportunity to ask this graduate panel various questions. We also talk about things such as becoming a psychologist and what a psychologist actually does. In other words, when we talk about what this is, what does it look like? We have, and that is a picture of getting into graduate school session with our speaker and our students. We have small group sessions. In the small group sessions, we have people from various areas, psychologists, including areas such as clinical, academia, community, military, forensics, the various areas of psychology. The student has the opportunity to actually see a psychologist and ask questions about what it is like. We have people from the public sector, private sector. We have people from outpatient, inpatient, adult, child, variety, and various venues. We also have the opportunity to talk about a group, for example, that talks about cultural issues in psychology. And at this point, I'd like to point out that one of the things that the conference focuses on is to enhance diversity. We have a lot of students attending from various ethnic groups. We have students interested in master's, doctoral level, and attending. We enhance diversity. Thank you. All right. We have graduate school booths. We have representatives from various graduate schools. In our last conference this past November, we had 13 schools represented. They talk about their schools, getting into their schools, the admission requirements, etc. Students can leave their names, get information. It helps to network in getting into graduate school. Poster sessions. The North Carolina Psychological Association Scientific and Academic Student Affairs Committee, which sponsors the conference, really encourages student research. We have an actual conference that meets in the spring in the CEU conferences for professionals, and we have a session there in which students present posters, graduate and undergraduate. At the undergraduate session, which is in November, students can present the research, have the opportunity to do that, but also students who are not presenting have the opportunity to go up and talk to students about one's research and what it actually is like in presenting. And now, I'd like to present Carol.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. We weren't sure how many would come. At one point, we were hoping for 5 people, so you've really made our day. How we do it. Hopefully we can start about a year ahead. When we first started out, it was harder finding a facility to do the undergraduate conference because of what space we needed. We've been doing this for 20 years and now it's become much easier because in North Carolina we have at least 2 or 3 universities that are basically asking ahead of time, hey, we'd like to have the undergraduate conference at our university next year. What we look for in space is, what's nice, if possible, is to have it all under one roof. Of course, that isn't always possible, but space for an auditorium that can hold at least up to 200 students because of our morning program. And then we need several breakout rooms. Usually we have 15 to 18 small group sessions going on, as Vincent mentioned, in different areas of psychology. Scheduling, when we get ready to do anything as far as after we've got the facility, then we need to start looking into getting people who are willing to facilitate and volunteer for that day. We have a morning program, and that means getting someone who is willing to do the getting into graduate school. Of course, we have to get graduate students that are a part of that program. On the average, we normally have at least 20 to 25 psychologists who volunteer their time for that day, and they will do different small groups. When I send information out to them, I ask them different areas they could help in, because one thing we have found, last minute, someone can't show up, and it's happened almost every year. So someone who walks in the door who's supposed to be doing a small group on adult psychology, I know that they also said they could do sports psychology. So I'm up there saying, okay, you're not going to do adult, I have someone else to fill in. So you are going to do sports psychology. And they go, okay, fine. We let them know this is a possibility. So you've got to be prepared and have some backup that people, you can ask and everything like that. Registration usually goes out about 2 months ahead of time. We have a flyer posted on the website, our website in the students section, probably about 9 months, or as soon as we have confirmed the place for the undergraduate conference. And then we have our undergraduate conference in the fall. We found that was a good time, and it normally is in November. This year it will be it'll be on November 15th. We do it on a Saturday from 10 to 4:30. We are going to be at North Carolina A&T University in Greensboro. We've held it there several times, and probably the main university we've used is North Carolina Central University in Durham, which is where Vincent is a professor. We've had several other schools who have offered, and we've gone there as well. I keep losing the clicker. Getting ready. For several years, we had a problem with students registering ahead of time and waited to the last minute. So now we offer what we call an early bird special. We do not charge much. This is a no-frills conference. It's just, we use very basic. We don't have PowerPoints except for the morning. So our early bird special, we charge $20 per student. Regular registration is $30, so we like to keep the cost down as much as we can. It's pretty much all last minute. The registration form, the students are to mark 4 small groups that they would like to attend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of them don't realize that that's the numbers they're supposed to use. Some of them put X's, so then I go ahead and just say, okay, good. If I need to fill in a small group, I'll just move them there. It's important, I feel, that since we have these facilitators coming, to make sure there are students in these groups. And normally, as long as we have 5 to 6 students in a group, this works fine. And we don't like to get them too large because they're only 45 minutes long. We offer 3 small groups. 2 they sign up for before they come to the conference. The 3rd one they sign up at the conference, because that way they have a choice of, doing something maybe they hadn't planned on attending. We have a folder. A lot of our materials now we just put on the student section, of our website, but we still have a folder with some information. It has 2 of the small groups that they've signed up for. It has a copy of the program. It has a name tag. We try to, it's interesting because the students always are amazed that certain universities seem to send a lot more students than others. And I think it's just because those professors realize the importance and have been involved with the undergraduate conference, the information that they can receive at this conference. We have students who have gone on, who are now members of our association, and so that's very, very rewarding. We're real fancy, as you can see, on registration. Get a box, and what works, So normally we have, on the average, of 120 to 150 students attend each year. This past year we had over 170, and one year we had almost 250 students. Again, trying to keep costs down. The biggest cost we have is food. And being at a university, we usually have to go through that resource at the university. And when students do their evaluation, the one thing they comment on is, we'd like better food. Well, when you're paying $20 and everything, this is the best, and it's probably just as much or even better than they get when, throughout the school week. During the time that this is going on, when we have lunch, we have the graduate school reps set up and everything like that. So some students are going and talking to the reps, and other students are having their lunch. The one thing we have found over the past several years is we can't always get professors or chairs of departments to come to represent the graduate schools, so graduate students have come, and it really has been nice because actually the graduate students seem to be able to talk to the undergrad students on a better level that they can understand and everything. We had fun. We have a lot of fun. And I think there'll be discussion about door prizes, but it's a good way. We do door prizes. We have a nice door prize. Usually members in our association donate door prizes. Most of them are gift cards. And we always have one at the beginning, so we get the students there when it's ready to start at 10 o'clock. But we keep the bulk of them to the end of the program. That way the students want to stay because they want that door prize. And it has worked. It has worked. And Vinston's been one of our best door prize, what's a good word? Announcer, solicitor. He gets the students they're ready for the next item and stuff like that. So I think. Oh yes, last year was our 20th anniversary, and we asked Dr. Norman Anderson to attend, and he was thrilled to come. He is from he went to school at North Carolina Central University for his undergrad, and his graduate was at UNC Greensboro and Duke, I believe, right? And he just enjoyed. He was a keynote speaker in the morning during our morning program, and he stayed a while and talked to students. And it was really nice to know that he took his time and came to be a part of our conference. Okay, I think it's Lisa's turn.
I'm going to talk some about why we do it, particularly as it benefits the students.